Illinois is sitting at 4-0 right now. And here's what is maybe my hottest take, guys. I think that at this point, Illinois is the team that is the most underrated team in all of college basketball right now. No one is talking about them. They were preseason top 10. They are pretty much doing all of the stuff that we kind of expected them to be doing at this point. They're really good offensively. They're probably better defensively than I think a lot of people gave them credit for. And they are sitting there at 11-3 overall, with seemingly having figured stuff out after having a rough start to the season, adjusting to the loss of Andre Curbelo. So Sweeney, am I crazy? Is Illinois the most underrated team in college basketball?
I think they're the most forgotten about team in the country. That's for sure. Look, I came away from a loss when I saw them in person against Arizona, more impressed than I was when I entered the building. I think that's one of those things that's very rare to do, but they were just, I mean, the two guards with Frazier and Plummer. I think Trent Frazier is the most underrated player in the country. I mean, he is an awesome perimeter defender. He's making shots at a high level. He's way more comfortable playing with the ball in his hands. And I think that's one of the things that I think helped Illinois, even without Curbelo, is that putting the ball in Frazier's hands a little bit more, I think has opened up some things for this Illinois team offensively. And then you have maybe the most dominant one-on-one player in the sport in Coburn on the interior. And a great coach in Underwood and athletes all around him shooting. I think this is a team that can be right in that top 15 mix. And look, they're 4-0 in the league. They've got a manageable schedule their next two. There's a very real chance this is a 6-0 Illinois team in the Big Ten, which would be the first time in, I believe, 15 plus years that they would start 6-0 in the league, going into a Martin Luther King Day game against Purdue, which would be pretty exciting in Champaign.
Ashton, let me ask you about Kofi, because he is sitting here. John Rothstein put out a tweet today. He said that Kofi Cockburn is putting up Luka Garza numbers and not getting near the attention. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say that Kofi would be my national player of the year, but I would go as far as to say, like, I think a lot of us forgot about the big fella in Champaign.
Yeah, he looks like a Big Ten, co-Big Ten player of the year, along with Johnny Davis right now. He's a man amongst boys, and I think he finishes around the basket. He looks a little bit more skilled. He looks just light on his feet, looks in better shape than last year, and just looks more comfortable. I think they give him the ball in ISO situations, and you can't really stop him. You can't stop him. He's passing it out to double teams as well. And anytime you have guys like Trent Frazier making shots, it's only going to open up opportunities around the basket. So I think Illinois does a great job of defending. That's one thing they do. They're underrated. They keep guys in front of them. They contest. They secure rebounds. And like you said, Kevin, Trent Frazier is one of the most underrated guys in the country in terms of just being a two-way guy. He makes shots and then just a pest on defense. The sky's the limit, but Kofi Cockburn overall, this guy is big time, man. He's a man amongst boys. Sky's the limit. He's my Big Ten player of the year along with Johnny Davis right now.
Yeah, Trent Frazier's got some leadership qualities that I don't think were there earlier on this season. He's not gonna let things slide in that locker room. I also think it's fair to say that Alfonso Plummer is like the most underrated transfer addition in all of college basketball. Like, this dude's shooting 42% from three. He's averaging like 17 a game. He's been a stud in Big Ten play. And part of the reason why they're so difficult to stop, Illinois is so difficult to stop, is because they basically have two guys that aren't going to miss if you leave them open in Plummer and Trent Frazier. They have two guys that can kind of get their own a little bit if you put them in ball screens, and you add in the fact, like, a guy like Jacob Granderson is shooting 50% from three, Coleman Hawkins making threes, who's DeMonte Williams can knock down threes. You put all of these shooters around like the one dude that is unstoppable in the paint. If you let him go one-on-one, it's a recipe for success, Sweeney.
Yeah, and I think as long as you get the four guards sharing the ball, they're unguardable. And I think, Plummer, his reputation coming into Illinois was a little bit of a chucker, really an impressive shot maker, but a little bit of a chucker. And I think they've gotten the most out of him, especially once Curbelo went down and they had to thrust him into this 30+ minute a game role. The two of them they're great distributors. They're really dynamic shot creators, and they're opportunistic in transition too. I thought, especially in that Arizona game, but I think we've seen it all year long, those two guys love to push the pace and get out and hunt threes in transition. And that can be really, really valuable.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of fun to watch them play. And I'm glad that they kind of turned this thing. The sport of college basketball needs Illinois to be awesome. I think we can all kind of agree on that. The fan base is crazy. The arena is nuts when it gets going. That shade of orange just works. Like I don't know what it is about orange teams in college hoops, but it just the more that there are, it just I love it. So I'm glad they're playing well.